let's get this started. So, um, every game that you see being played has specific expectations for it, for what people want in it, for what the game is going to be, what it's going to be about. Um, having said that, I don't have most of those things. This whole game here was originally written as a simulation test for faction AI and for nature simulation stuff things. Anyway, I want to rewrite this. I want to not rewrite this. I don't want to rewrite this. I don't want to do that whole thing again. I am going to be making one of the things that we need for this to be an actual game. That is going to be we need gameplay. There needs to be a win condition and a lose condition, and there needs to be a end game. And lastly, there needs to be a menu with options so that people can like control volume and all that other stuff. So yeah, I think I'm going to start with that. Hold on. Close our prefabs and scripts. I need the scenes. And we're going to create a scene. And we're going to call that scene main menu. Okay, cool. Main menu. What do we need? Let's see. UI canvas. We're going to do a panel, and that panel is going to be the main menu panel. And that's going to have on it so I have not learned the UI toolkit yet. It's on my to-do list to figure out how that works. For now, I don't really have anything for it. We'll work on it at some point, but yeah. Let's see. It is something I want to learn at some point. We need a text. That's going to be the title. And the game is called Stone and Struggle. And let's move this title up to the top. Let's see. So that's going to be 0 to 1. It's going to fill up the entire screen. But at the top, it's going to be 1 and 0, 8. So that's going to be the top center. We're going to auto size this from 0 to 1000 so that no matter what size screen you have, it'll be able to adjust itself so that the whole thing fits in there. Center, center. And I want to change the font here. What do we have available to us? Oswald. No. Nah. Okay, we don't have anything great. How do I add a font? Let's look that up. Let's take a moment to go on the internet and look up a font. Oh, they have stuff at the asset. Oh, do I already... Oh, hold on, before I go looking. Before I do anything. Yeah, update visual scripting. And we can probably get rid of Visual Studio, because I don't really use that. This will be fixed hopefully soon. I hope. I pray. Oh, give it time. Give it time. Give it time. Okay. My assets. Font. No results for font at all, huh? Text. Open texture library, .tween, which is used for textures. Texture pack. What do these look like? Ooh. Okay. Procedural terrain painter. I'm not making anything 3D. I don't really know what I'm doing for the art style just yet, so I'm mostly just leaving that alone. But, yeah. Okay. Text, font, UI. Dark UI kit. Does this include a text style? Free UI sound pack. Dark UI kit. Dark UI kit seems like the most likely one that I would want to go for, but I don't think this has text with it. 26 UI elements designed to integrate seamlessly into any Unity project. Sci-fi interface. The Pi. Yeah. GUI Pro Fantasy RPG. The problem with this is that these colors and this like general style doesn't fit what like I'm thinking of like a dark fantasy kind of game. But we also have these building blocks to learn how to use the proper system, which I'm gonna learn at some point. But not right now. So yeah, we're gonna back out of this. Okay. Let's see if there's anything out there that I can get. Importing font files. To add a font to your project, you need to place the font file in your assets folder. Unity will then automatically import it. Supported font formats are TrueType fonts, TTF, and OpenType fonts. Okay, I think I want to go for an OTF. OTF fonts. Here we go. Personal use. Yeah, this is the usual thing that I think of as free for personal use. But I think there are places you can get them online for free. I mean, I suppose this is free for personal use now. You know what? I'm just going to use what I have. We're not going to spend some time on this that I don't need to. Okay. If I type in 2D, what do I get? Sky packages, the open texture library, that's just a couple of those. 2D characters. Diggable 2D terrain, I am mildly interested in. G-Spawn Level Designer. I think this is mostly for 3D. Yeah, it's mostly 3D. GUI Pro Fantasy Art. Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. All right. I think for the immediate future, I am going to ignore that, and we're just going to make it with this. Okay. So the button, we're going to have a couple of buttons. We're just going to duplicate these. So button 1, let's see. So we need a start button, an options button, a load game button. Start game, load game, options, and quit. Okay. So start game, and there's just going to say start game. And again, I am not putting any serious effort in any kind of styling here. For the X, we'll say 0.4 and 0.6, so it goes right around the center. And for the Y, we're going to put ended at 0.8 and started at 0.6. Oh, no, whoop, wrong one. Wrong direction. 0.6, 0.8. 0, 0. That is ridiculously huge. Okay. 0.45 and 0.55. Take a little off that. And for that, we're going to actually take... You know what? I think instead of having it be in the center, I think I'm going to have it be on the left-ish side of the screen. Can I take the title and shrink that down a bit? So we do 0.2 and 0.8. Okay. 0.2 and 0.3. And instead of 0.6 and 0.8, we'll do 0.7. Yeah, that looks a little bit better, I think. Okay, so load game is going to be 0.5 and 0.6. And then 0.2 and 0.3. And we'll change the text in there to say load game. And options, we're going to change this to say options. And quit is going to say quit. And options is going to be... Actually, both of these are going to be 0.2 and 0.3. Get over there. Options is going to be 0.5, 0.6, 0.3, 0.4. And quit is going to be 0.1, 0.2. I'm sure there are style rules for exactly how you're supposed to set up these. I don't know what those rules are. I have no idea. So we're just going to set it up like this. File, save. Okay, so start game is going to jump us into the game. Options is going to open up a new scene for the options menu. Or what I might do is I might create a... How do I want to handle the options? See, the thing is, I want options to be available in the base game itself. What I might do... Ooh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a UI canvas panel, and this panel is going to be called the panel. What is there a thing there? Okay. And the options panel quickly is going to be black instead of the white that was. 3D. Okay, I need a TextMesh Pro. That is called a title. It's going to say options, and it's going to be up in this corner-ish here. So 0.2 and 0.8, 0.8 to 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. Oh, let's say 0.2 to 0.5. We're also going to have it hug that side. And we're going to allow this to grow as much as it wants. And we'll have it match the... Was it Oswald the other one was? I forget. Okay, whatever. We have an options panel. And we need what? Music, sound effects, windowed mode. We have a toggle. We're going to call that window toggle. Color is going to be white. Font size. Oh, it's not letting me set a font size. That's odd. Okay, so we have our button. Drop down. I need a slider. And we need a slider for volume. Let's see, we need a master volume slider, a okay. Now the Windows toggle, I don't actually know how this would work. 0.2, 0.5, and 0. Okay. Whatever. We're just going to leave that where it is. Let's see. We need a volume title. that's going to be, yeah, 0.2 to 0.5, but this one's going to be like 0.7 to 0.8. Okay, cool. Master volume text, master volume slider. Sure, the thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to create an empty object in there. Call it master volume. Okay. So master volume itself is going to be 0.2 to 0.5. And it's going to be, let's see, where does volume 0.7 to 0.8? Okay, so that's going to be 0.6 to 0.7. And then 0 to 1 and 0 to 0.5. So there we go. And we're going to change that text to okay, and then the slider is going to be from 0.5 to 1. That was 2, 0.5 to 1. And it's going to take up the whole thing. Yeah, we need to play with these a bit too. How do I want to handle this? I might just leave this as is for now. Let's see. Let's get rid of the handle itself. Because I think someone's doing work outside because I'm hearing banging, but I don't. It feels like someone's at the door, but it also doesn't. I don't know. So I want this to look ugly because it's going to get replaced later. Like there's going to come a point where I'm like, okay, it's time to work on the UI of the whole game and just do a whole big repair thing for it. And right now we're not there. We're going to be there at some point. We're going to be there someday. But for now we're not. So we're letting it be ugly. Here, we're going to hit play. Cool, I can still select this. I'm going to set the value to 0.5 to start. You know what? No, I'm going to set this to 1 to start. And we're going to get rid of this weird background nonsense stuff going on here. Oh, never mind. Hold on. Okay. That's fine, I guess. Okay, that's good. Now there was something about the color. Direction, left to right. Transition, color tints. Value, visualization, left to right. I don't remember if that was an effect of this or if that was something else. Either way, this looks about like what I want it to look like. So we're going to delete the other two sliders. And we're just going to duplicate this twice. This one is going to be the music volume, and this one is going to be the effects volume. So for music volume, Y is going to be 0.5 and 0.6. Get rid of all these extra bits of info. We already know this is an effects volume object, so we don't need to actually know that it is the slider for it. Okay, so effects volume, that is going to be 0.5 to 0.6. 0.4 to 0.5. And then the window toggle, I'm going to have to move down a bit more to like... You know what? No. .6 to 0.7. 0.5 to 0.8. Label is going to be 50. And the windowed mode text, we're going to have to increase the font size of that quite a bit. Okay. This all looks terrible, but that is the point. So, okay, music volume. And this is going to be... You know what? We're going to change all of these. Music. Master. And then Change that to say volume. We're going to center that. Okay, so now basically what we need to do is create the system to have all of these put together. Basically. That's the short version of it. So I don't remember if I remember how to do that. But yeah, let's start with the main menu panel. Okay. This we're going to go for like a red. Is there a texture I can get? Flag, flame. Good enough. There's a background thing there. All right. Yeah. So start game. I think we're going to add this to this panel here. We'll call this the main menu controller. We're going to create a new script called the main menu controller. This is going to be stored in UIs and visuals. New folder. Menus. I'm going to assume menus doesn't have an E at the end of it. Okay, save that. Give it a minute, let it reload. It's going to be so nice when this reload is way faster in the future. I can't wait. I also can't wait to get rid of the old grid system and replace it with the new one. It's going to be nice too. Put it in the proper namespace. There is definitely not going to be any update functions to that. Yeah, we added a whole bunch of new stuff to it, so that's all going to be going into the change file. Let's see. We need a button. Like I said, UI Elements is, I want to learn it at some point. I have some basic understanding of CSS, but it's not really something that I am good at, so I'm sort of just leaving it on its own. Let's see. So the first button is going to be the start game button, the exit button. Actually, for the sake of clarity, what do we call it in here? Quit. Okay. It's just important to make sure that everything has similar naming conventions. Load game button. And okay, cool. We have all of our buttons. Now what I need to do is, when we enable this, and when we disable this, we're going to have some actions that we take. So what actions are we going to take? On start game button dot on click, add a listener, and now we can add in a call to a method that's going to do a thing. And this method is going to be called start game scene. Now I can right click on that, create it as a method, and stick it down here. And then on disable, we remove that listener. Now we should do that for all of them. And then lastly, quit game button, on click, add listener. Quit game is going to be the easiest. That's just application quit. And that can actually be made static, which is kind of cool. I'm going to move that one down to the bottom just to keep the order of each of these standardized. Actually, what I can do is okay, so start game scene is going to be at the top. And that's just going to be, we're going to have a scene saved. And we're just going to open up the basic game scene. Open options panel. Load stored scene. So the options panel goes below that. And for that, we just need, hold on, let's header buttons, and then a new one. Here we panel. Is it? Hold on. How do they actually do this? So the panel is it's just a transform and a canvas renderer and with an image on it. Okay, so a panel is basically just a game object. So we'll just do game object main menu panel Options panel. Okay. Cool. So starting the game scene, I think I can just take a link to the scene object that we have stored. And scene in Unity Engine scene management. Game scene. And can I just go to scene manager? I think I can just do it that way. Is that visible? Give it a second to load. It is not involved, and I should rename that to panels. And there is something to make these visible. I think the better option would eventually be to make it so that we can save stuff. Okay. Add save system. Hello, Mimi. Jack. Oi. Yeah, starting to work on a just quick menu setup. For the game. Nothing fancy, just something functional so that, you know, people can change the volume of the game and stuff like that. How are you? Okay, so we're loading the stored scene, add save system, load latest scene here. You were fixing something in the last stream. Yes. I have a bunch of old electronics that I have been kind of sorting through, trying to figure out what's fixable and what's not. And yeah, I had a couple old night vision goggles that I was fixing. I'm waiting on parts now, so I'm not going to be doing that for a little while. Add a save system. We're going to load the latest scene here. Or change to a load game scene. I don't know which option I'm going to go for, so it's nice to have it other. Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of a skill I've been learning for the past several years. I got a soldering kit to work on like small electronics and like, you know, I wanted to like make my own RC car and stuff. And that turned into everybody in my family handing me any broken electronics they get. So, yeah. I didn't know which kind of content, game development or fixing things would be like a better attractor of people, but I enjoy doing both, so I figured I'd just stream both whenever I'm doing them. Okay, so for the opening the options panel, we need our main menu and options panel. So we're going to take the main menu panel and set active to false, and then options panel, turn that on. So that's going to turn on our options panel. Now the options panel needs a controller, and part of that controller is turning off the options panel and turning on the main menu panel. And that should be it for this, I think. Oh, yeah, except for the game scene. Load scene 1. There is no scene with the same index in Unity build settings. Okay, go to build profiles. Give it a moment. Yeah, I've got a bunch of friends that have like old Super Nintendos and GameCubes and like the original PlayStation or Xbox and old controllers and handhelds and decent number of like Bluetooth speakers and stuff that just are completely dead. And I keep hearing people talking about throwing their old stuff out, and I'm like, no, don't do that. Send it my way. I'll fix it. I have fun doing it. And now I'm hearing about people that are looking for people to fix their electronics like professionally, like collectors looking for people to make old Nintendo games work again. And I feel like I could do that. Okay, open scene list, add open scenes, and we're going to flip these around so that the menu is first. So that way the main menu opens when the game opens. Save that. And now we have our load scene. I was looking at Kickstarter games, and they are getting exceptional funds. Yeah, I'm not quite there yet. So my plan is to get something that's like really good looking. Not quite art wise, but like yeah, I'm thinking about it. I definitely should at some point, but what I want to do is I want to have something to show people where it's like I'd like to get it to the point where like there's one level in this game that's like fully playable so that like I can show it to people and show them like what the game can do, what the game is capable of. You know, something that's like maybe 4 or 5 hours in total of gameplay. Nothing super extreme. And then use that as the backing for the Kickstarter. And I think I would be able to get funding out of that. That's a little bit I think if I stay consistent with this, I feel like I can get that done in like 3 or 4 months. Okay, so the load scene does not need anything outside of the scene manager, which is yeah, I think the scene manager is static, so we can have this method be static. Load stored scene. We don't have anything to load here yet because I don't have a save system. And options panel, that's done. The quick game is done, so I think this is pretty much all set. Let's go to the game, hit play. I might have like a little setup here where like 2 armies are fighting or something, like some kind of. I like having a menu that has a lot of like moving things going on in it. Okay, so if I click start game. What? Oh, whoops. Hold on. I completely forgot to actually have any of these touch each other. Okay, I may have phrased that incorrectly. Okay, options panel, file, save. Try again. Am I going to get any error messages this time? No. Look at that. Okay, so load game doesn't do anything yet. I don't have that functionality existing in the game yet. The options panel opens the options menu, and I don't have any way to actually get out of here because I forgot to add the options panel controller. Okay. Options menu controller. Create and add. Yeah, Kickstarter is definitely something on my radar. Clear. Close that tab. Someone's doing construction next door, and every single time they use the air gun to push a nail in, it sounds exactly like someone very gently tapping on the garage door. And I'm like, fuck, is somebody there? And nobody ever is, which creeps me the hell out. All right, for now, I just want the button to go back to serialized field, private button, return to main menu button. That has to have an R. And a button is we are importing the type of UI. Again, there's going to come a point where I learn Unity's UI elements setup, but I am terrible at web dev, so we're not going to do that today. What we are going to do is on enable, return to main menu button. We're going to add a listener to it. And that listener is going to say, return to main menu. Now, return to main menu does not exist. We have to make it exist. Poof, it exists. Then on disable, we're going to take our return to main menu button and we're going to remove that listener so it no longer does this when the player clicks on it. All this is going to do is we need to get our references to serialized field, private game object. We need the options panel, and we need private game object, the main menu panel. And we'll just add some headers here. Panels, so that way we'll get like a little visual reminder of what's going in here. And the main menu, return to main menu, so the options panel is going to get turned off, and the main menu panel is going to get turned on. Thank you for the autocorrect for doing it correctly for once. It never does that. I am surprised. Okay. Let it reload the domain. I have noticed it is definitely faster than it used to be. Let's turn that off. Turn the main menu, turn the options panel on. And I need to add a button. Return to menu button. Return to main. We're just going to call this. Put the text in it to have it say back. And this is going to go in the... Where are we going to put this? Let's say 0.2 to 0.3. And we're going to have this be low. So I'm going to say 0.1 to 0.2. There we go. So now we have a little back button. Just for the sake of it, I'm just going to give it kind of a reddish color. We're going to take the text in it and make it bold so it's more visible. And we're going to auto size that to fill it. And lastly, in the extra settings, we're going to put like a tiny border between it so that it's not like, so that the letters aren't like interacting directly with the border of that. Yeah, it's ugly, but it's not meant to be pretty. It's meant to be prototypey. Okay, so return to main button. That's that. The options panel goes there. The main menu panel goes there. Everything has its references. So now we can turn on the main menu, turn off the options, file, save, and play. Okay, cool. So now it's open. So if I click options, we now go to the options menu. When we click back, we go back. I click quit and nothing happens because application.quit does not work in the editor. I'd have to make a build of the game for that to function. If I click load game, nothing happens because there's nothing in there. If I click start game, it starts the game. There we go. Go into the city, capture some territory. And just run around. And now, so a couple things I need to do next. I need to make it so that the options menu can appear in the game so that if I want to change the volume, I can. The volume doesn't do anything, and I need something to pop up to say, hey, loading game is not in the game yet. Yeah. Yeah, piece by piece, we're just getting it together. So let's do the load game first, I think, because that's going to be the simplest. So what I want to do is I want to add a text box over it that's going to be in red and bold, and it's going to be 0.3 to 0.5. I'm just going to put that over it a bit. The heck? Oh, right, because it's inside of this. Okay, I'll take it outside the load screen then. Okay, and that text is going to say save system, not... Actually, we'll call it save/load. Not yet implemented. Okay, there we go. Look at that. Save load system not yet implemented. I'll add the text in here too. Not yet implemented. There we go. Auto size it. 0 to 1,000. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add a little something to the main menu. And basically all we're going to do is we're going to grab that and we're going to make it turn off at the very beginning. So on enable, first thing that's going to happen is it's going to turn off. And then, okay, yeah, this game scene here, right, doesn't exist anymore. We'll replace that with this. TextMesh Pro GUI. No load text. So over here on enable, dot equals false. Okay. And then here, what we're going to do is, I'm going to leave that to do because that is an important to do to actually implement a load save system. But what we're going to do is we're going to create a coroutine that is going to, let's see. And we're going to add a method in there. We're going to call it, I need to try to remember how coroutines work exactly because I haven't made one in a while. Because generally, there are usually better ways to handle these kinds of things than a coroutine. But, We're gonna call it show error text. Okay, I don't think I did that right. Hold on, let's get rid of that. Create method, show error text. This is not going to be a type of string. It's going to be an IEnumerable, I think. I think this is a type collections. You know what? I'm pretty sure I have these somewhere else in here. Armies. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have one and set up an Army AI controller. IEnumerator. Okay. I was close. Okay. So yield return. There needs to be a time limit on this for how long it exists for. I'm going to say like 2 seconds. So new wait for seconds, and this seconds is going to be 2F. Okay, so it's going to be active for then, and then... Okay, so we're going to turn the text on, wait 2 seconds, and then turn it off. And I think that's going to be it. On disable, stop coroutine, show error text. Okay, cool. And also turn it off. I'll have a little separator between those just so that it's easy to tell which is which. Okay. File, save all of that. We're just going to do a quick test to make sure this works. And if it does, then I'm just going to save all of that and we'll move on to the next part, which is going to be the sound. So hit play. Damn, that's always the thing that gets me. I always forget to add things in. Damn. Okay. But that said there were 2 null reference exceptions. You know what? We'll find out. Okay, so this starts like that. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Yeah, that works good. Okay. Options menu changes to the options. I can play with these sliders a bunch. I would like to change the visual on these just a little bit so that they looks a little bit nicer, but okay. That's it for that. So I can push all of this. Let's see, what do? We added a functional main menu and option screen. commit and push all of that. I know there's a to-do. I'm saving that to-do for next time. The save system is probably going to be like... That's going to be like a couple of days to a couple of weeks at least. Like, even if I assigned an AI to it, there's still so many small little pieces that will be interacting with each other in the game that it's just going to take a while to set up. Okay, main menu controller is good. Now what I need to do is the options panel controller. Now I need to figure out about music and sound and stuff, which I did learn a little bit about earlier for a different game because I wanted to get a menu system set up in that. But universal render pipeline stuff, what are you doing out here? Create a new folder for options. I'm going to take all that and stick that in there. I also wanted to take a bunch of stuff and because there's like I downloaded a CodeMonkey example project when I was first figuring out exactly how I wanted to handle grids. And the CodeMonkey project really doesn't belong here anymore, I don't think. Like, I think we can probably get rid of most of it. But anyway, not my focus for right now. Yeah, options panel. Turn off the main menu panel. Okay, what do I want? That's a good question. We're going to create an audio mixer. And we're going to call this main audio. And then I can open that up, and you now have an audio mixer. Cool. There's a master volume, and then there's two new groups. This second one, yeah, we're going to make those separate. And this new group, we're going to remove that one. Okay, new group number 1. It's going to be renamed to music, and new group number 2, rename that one to effects. I could probably do a I'm not going to put that much effort into it. Yeah, I need to basically I just need like a constant reminder that not all of this is going to stay here forever. But basically what I want to do is I want to have each of the different audio sources add itself to either music or effects. So basically, they're basically all going to add themselves to effects. And then have a separate track for music. And yeah, so this master slider is going to be linked to this master. The music is going to be to music, effects is going to link to effects. And we're going to be able to use this to quickly change the music volume throughout the game. I'm going to need a separate storage for storing people's preferences. So we're going to have to go back here and figure this out. Oh yeah, I just moved a bunch of files too, huh? Yeah, added main audio mixer. Some files, some URP files into their own folder. I'll just push that. Push. Okay, so how do I want to handle this? Header buttons, and then header sliders. Okay, so we have master volume slider, music volume slider, and effect volume slider. Sweet. And now we need to do something whenever those change. So slider dot on value changed, add listener. Now we can just create a delegate here, that's true, but I would rather keep these as separate functions. So private void capitalize that. Argument type void is not assignable to parameter type Unity action. Hold on. Expected a method with void changed master volume float signature. Okay. Okay, cool. So we're going to get the value that it's currently sitting at. Yeah. Okay, and now I need to also get the mixer too. We'll add that below the panels. Okay, audio mixer. Wait a minute. There was audio mixer and audio mixer group. This is just a... Yeah, this is an audio mixer controller. Huh. So if I go back to the options panel, I can add the sliders on here. Volume slider, music volume slider, effects volume slider. Okay, cool. So I can just add the mixture straight in there. Now, how do I get the specific group? Would I have to get references directly to those? Actually, hold on. Let's test that out. Private audio mixer group. Okay. Yep, we're going to get the reload domain, as expected. Okay, options panel. Options panel. So is that? Oh my god, it is. Okay, so we want audio mixer groups, and we want, wait, does master go there too? Yes, it does. Okay, so we want master, music, and effects. I'm going to put those right here. Audio mixers, audio mixer group, and that is going to be the master mixer. Why did you go up here? Go down there. So we're going to have the master mixer, the music mixer, and the effects mixer. Okay, cool. And then, okay, so change master volume. What that's going to do is master mixer dot audio mixer dot set float. Okay, so there's a string for the name. Is that volume? And set the volume to the value. I assume this is what we're doing. I think. The autocorrect seems to think we would be doing something else, but okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have the audio mixer open so that I can see what specific values they're setting these to. So we're going to hit play. The variable master mixer has not been assigned. Oh, shit. It's the one thing that always trips me up every single time I do this, no matter what. Master, master. Music, music. Effect, effect. Okay, open that up. Clear those. We're good on that. Save everything and hit play. Expose name does not exist volume. Oh, shit. I have to figure out what its name is. Okay. We're going to open up here. Okay. Audio mixers. Oh, wow. This goes through all of the canvas stuff. Yeah, I can skip all of that and go straight to the scripting the UI part. So we're getting our audio mixer and a bunch of sliders. Yeah, there's an initial set sliders value here. If player prefs.has key master volume. Yeah, that's player prefs is something I already know. Mixer.setFloat. Do we have to set the float ourselves? Hold on. I did kind of bull rush through this. So, free course. No, go away. Okay, by default, we have master group, which overrides every single audio source in the game. This allows us to adjust the pitch and volume of the overall. Oh, hold on. Go back here. Zero. Expose volume to scripts. There we go. Okay. Music. Expose volume to scripts. Rename. Effect volume. Okay, just so they all have the same name. Okay, so this is all in Audio Mixer. Okay, so I just need the one mixer now. So I did this wrong, I think. We're just gonna make those go away. Private audio mixer. Audio mixer. Okay. Let's see. So now I just need to go to the mixer dot set float. And I called it master underscore volume. Okay. So let's find out if that's it. Save all that. Hit play. Wait a minute. Aha! I caught myself in the act of self-sabotage. Okay. Now we'll open the audio mixer. Oh, it only changes it from... Okay, that's why they had the weird thing going on there. Okay, so 0 to 1 is not good. We need to do minus 80 to 20. I think. Yeah, and then we need to set the output to the audio mixer groups, and then we can change the values for them there. Let's go through this quickly and see if we can't find. The maximum value would be the original volume of the audio clip, which is 0, and the minimum, which is minus 40. Okay. So I take, I'll open up these 2, 3, take all 3 of these volume sliders. Okay, so the maximum value is 0, the minimum value is minus 40, and value of 0. All right, that's better. Now let's hit play. Now it should be fixed. Now it should do the full range. -40, 0. Though there's also, I noticed that going -40 and -20 is half the different distance between -20 and 0. So what I'm wondering is, yeah, it seems like it snaps. So I'm wondering if there's like some kind of mathematical system we should be using to have it go from -40 to 0. And I don't know what the answer is to that. I'm going to make that a to-do. And I'm going to make a separate to-do. Test if the above is necessary. Okay. So what I want to do is we're going to add a audio source here. The audio source is going to have its output at music. Play on awake, loop, play. So now the music is going to play at full volume, which is going to be pretty loud. Now down here, is it still playing? It still is. Okay, so I may have to set the bottom to -80. Ah, my ears. My ears. Okay. So now we just need to fix that on the sliders. -80. Save all of those, hit play. Now, can you still hear it? Ain't hearing squat. Sweet. Okay, turn that back up a bit. Okay, cool. Master works. Now we need to figure out how music is going to work. Same basic concept, I think. Not necessary. We can get rid of that. Private void change music volume, and then effect volume. Now we just need to add and remove all the listeners for this. Music volume, change music volume, effect volume, change effect volume. Okay. Cool. Hold the phone. Did that not change it at all? Hold on. Let's see if it actually... But neither of those affect those. What to do? Audio mixer, set float, master volume, music volume, effect volume. Change master, change music, change effect. Music and effect sliders. We have those sliders selected there. So why is it not having an effect on it? That is an odd one. That's a pickle. All right, I'm going to turn the volume off just so we don't have to listen to the same opening portion of the track every single time. Okay, so that one works fine. That one works... What? Now they work... I didn't do nothing. I didn't change nothing. Oh my god, the dog is passed out right now. She's adorable. Oh, you're stretching. You're stretching. You heard the word dog. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to wake you up from your adorable slumber. Okay. Cool. Now what I need to do is 2 parts. First is a save system for this, and then is to go into the game and set everything that plays tracks to... Section of the curb, and realized we had at least 6 console boxes that weren't in the recycle bins. Ah, yes. Family issue. Nothing big. Okay. So let's see. We have 2 things we need to do here. We need to save and we need to load. So private void save load volume values. Look at that. Player prefs dot set float get float. Oh right, has key. Okay, so if we have the key, if we do not have the key master volume, then we're going to set it, and we're going to set it to 0. And we're going to do this once for each of the volumes. We only have to do this once each time we load the options menu. So it's going to be like one of those things that's just very rare. So we don't have to worry too much about. Though I am a little bit iffy on the using text everywhere issue we have here. I also want to set the audio mixers when we load the volumes so that they're all just set to their set values. And I want to remove these here. I'd like to make those go away if I can. So we're just gonna how are we handling this? Private const string. Music volume key. And effect volume key. Now, loading these values is not something for on enable because I don't want this to happen just when we open the options menu. I want this to happen in awake, which I believe is going to happen before anything else. So load volume values and disable itself. And we'll start the options menu open so that it can do that. Actually, I might just hold on. Debug.log ran options awake. I'm fairly certain that awake will run whether it's enabled or not, but it's always good to check just to be sure. Okay. So we're going to kill the options menu, start up the main menu, save, hit play, just to see if that comes up. It does not. Okay, so kill that. Awake enabled equals false. We'll see if it runs this time. Why did you not start? Hold on, hold on. Okay, so we're going to activate it, do all this stuff, and then deactivate it. That may have fixed it. If the options menu turns off, that means that it worked. Play. Look at that. Okay, cool. So now we save all the values at 0 when we first start. These values, these player perfs, are saved now. They exist. So this is just a check to make sure that if this is the first time we've loaded the game, set those. Now we need a save. Avoid save volume values. Oh, that was the other thing we didn't do. Prefs.save. Okay. Actually, we might want to do this in here so that when we change the values, it saves it. Yeah, I might do this as a separate. Okay, cool. So now we're already guaranteed AI viewers. I don't want AI viewers. Go away. Okay. Prefs dot set float value, and then player prefs dot save. And we're basically going to do the same thing for these two. Okay. Now that should load it and save it. So now when I hit play, we're going to go to the options menu. We're going to set. Yeah, we need some kind of special slider for this. Because this is basically unhearable. I wonder if this is what all those Roblox games do. Because this is a thing that I don't play Roblox, but it's a thing I've heard about in Roblox where, like, they have the volume slider all the way up and it's super, super loud. You can barely hear anything. But then if you put it like a tiny bit down, it's basically you can't hear nothing. I wonder if this is it, this slider issue here. But, yeah. I'll figure out a solution for that at some point soon. For now, we're going to stop and reload. And that is down slightly. Oh shit, it changes the slider but doesn't change the... music. The audio mixer. Music volume key. Hold on. We'll get the values that we've already set. Our other option is to make loading and saving a separate function outside of the... Make it like a static item, but I don't want to go through that. Okay, let's load it up. Okay, go back. Exit, play. And I think the issue... Okay, so the sliders are fine, but the music itself isn't changing. That is weird. Wonder if we take this out of Awake and put it in Start instead. Maybe it just needs the Awake. Maybe this just isn't running by Awake. Yep, that was it. Set the music down a bunch. Turn it off, turn it back on. Music should be half. Yeah, it's down to 27. Okay. That's all set then. The only thing we have to do... So does this tutorial just have you... Yeah, toggle a window. Locking and unlocking the cursor. Okay, so yeah, that was an okay tutorial on how to get this set up, but the only problem, the problem that I have with this is the audio mixer doesn't work on a linear scale. Like, volume is not a... Send, receive, echo, low pass, high pass, pitch shifter, compressor, SFX reverb, a lot of stuff here. Okay, so volume we don't have any, like, strong control over. Okay. Well, that's fine. Okay. Main menu, options. Now controls volume. Mixer. Sorry, not volume mixer. Audio mixer. Commit and push. Actually, I probably shouldn't have pushed that. I probably should have added the a to-do here. Do make an equation to handle the between the disparity between the linear slider and the... Okay, good. The pooch has been very quiet. I have the nice screen right here. to see the pooch, to watch them, to make sure they're not doing anything. Faye is a wonderful dog, but she is still 5 months old, so she is prone to wanting to get up and go explore and nibble on things that she probably shouldn't. So I got to keep a good eye on her. And yeah, the camera helps. Okay, to do, make an equation to handle disparity between linear slider and the logarithmic nature of volume. I feel like a nerd. Added a volume to do. Commit and push. Commit anyway and push. That's just a very minor thing, but it is going to be something I'm going to have to handle at some point. It's probably just going to be a case of I look up some random equation online. That equation is what handles it, and that does the job for me. Yeah. An hour and 52. Do I have... Can I do the rest of this in 8 minutes? I think I can. Hold on. Let's open up the project. We're going to go to the scenes with all of the stuff. Nature and Army scene. That's the scene with the stuff. Okay, music. That is going to output to music. Global volume. Oh, that's the actual global volume. I think the only other one is on the player. Effects. Yeah, I think every single other effect that the player hears, they hear through this. I'm fairly certain. Because I don't think any of our army or castle or soldier prefabs have a... Oh, the fireball projectile has an audio source on it. That's going to be an effect. Fireball. That's going to be an effect. Player. Ice Storm. Summon. Village. Yeah, that's all the prefabs, so unless there's something I'm missing here. How about the end manager? That's going to be master, under the master volume, I think. Environment. Is there anything in the environment that's going to cause me any issues? I can delete that new ground. Don't need that anymore. Okay. That's right. We have our dynamic object reference that's, I think, stores a reference to every moving object in the game. Like, it all goes in there. Okay. So, oof. So basically, the next thing we're going to do is test this all out. Which I believe, yeah, we're just going to added all audio sources to the... No, other way around. Added mixers to all audio sources. Okay. Meat. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the main menu scene, go to my audio sources, or go to my canvases, and I'm going to have the options panel actually, hold on. How do we do a check to see if we are in the main menu? You know what I might do? Might just turn it off. But yeah, basically what we're going to do is we're going to go to the prefabs and we're going to create a folder for UI prefab elements, and we're going to add our options panel to that. And we're going to create another one for spells, fireball, fireball projectile, ice storm, and summon. That's all going in there. And then we're going to create a folder for... Yeah, I just want to separate all of these. NPCs. That's going to be the army, the hauler, castle, city, the player. Oh, that's going to be... outposts. Castle, city, and village. Okay. I don't remember what the grid reader does. I think it's just text, but... yeah, we can get rid of that. Save all that. And... yes. We're now going to go to our nature scene, and we're going to add our options panel to here. Actually, we're going to create another canvas. Put the options panel on that. Yeah, screen space overlay. 0, 0, 0, 0. There we go. Cool. And we're going to disable return to main. Okay. So I want to play this, and we're going to see if this works. Which should just work right away. Huh. That's weird. Oh, is Derek home? Is Derek home? What? Who is that? Huh?
You know who I... You
You
sleep
know-
with me!
You
Did she escape the,
Yeah.
How?
She just moved it. I think she grabbed it with it. So I put her in the crate and oh, but yeah, we have to wash her bed because she peed.
In the bed? Okay, that's not
yeah.
bad. I washed her, bed, 3 times.
But yeah, we're gonna do that. Yeah, wash that. I put her in there when I went food shopping.
Yeah.
And she pulled the covering, the black covering thing you had on there,
Yeah.
through the bars into the crate.
All right.
So, yeah, I think we should probably move the crate out of there and into the middle room, into like the living room, just so that like.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, because she's not going to be sleeping in there anyway at night, so. You're going to have to carry her.
Yeah, I'm gonna move everything over.
That works. What's going on? What's going on? We've lost the puppy cam. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, you're just such a baby. You're just such a baby.
All right. I'm going to figure this all out next time, I think. Yeah, what the heck was going on with the city? Is that on its own thing? I'll figure that out later. Bye.